A man made one decision under pressure, and 2,000 years of human thought nearly vanished forever. That decision wasn't made by a conqueror or a fool. It was made by someone doing what they thought was right with the information they had. And that's the real lesson buried in the Library of Alexandria's collapse. Not that one catastrophe erased everything, but that fragile systems fail silently, one rational choice at a time. Let's start with what Alexandria actually was. Around 300 BCE, Ptolemy Isoda, a Macedonian general who'd inherited Egypt after Alexander's death, made a choice. He'd build a library, not just a storage room, a machine for capturing all human knowledge. He spent enormous sums. He sent agents across the Mediterranean buying, copying, sometimes stealing texts. By 100 BCE, Alexandria held somewhere between 400,000 and 700,000 scrolls. No one knows the exact number because no one was counting the way we count now. But here's the first problem nobody talks about. Storing papyrus is expensive. Papyrus rots. It needs stable heat, low humidity, constant maintenance. The library required staff, copyists, catalogers, guards. That costs money every single year forever. It's not a one-time investment. It's a drain on the budget. Fast forward to the Roman conquest. Julius Caesar arrives in Alexandria in 48 BCE. Fighting breaks out. Ships catch fire in the harbor. Some scrolls burn, maybe thousands, maybe a smaller number. Historians still argue about the scale, but here's what matters. The library survived. It kept running for another 400 years. The real collapse wasn't sudden. It was a series of small decisions. Christianity spreads through the empire. Pagan knowledge, philosophy, astronomy, medicine written by non-Christians becomes politically risky to preserve. No one orders the library burned. Instead, funding quietly dries up. Staff aren't rehired. Scrolls aren't copied. Maintenance stops. By 391 CE, Emperor Theodosius I issues a decree. Pagan temples will be closed. The Serapeum, the daughter library of Alexandria, housed in a temple, is attacked. Mobs destroy what remains, but even then it wasn't total erasure. Scrolls were scattered, hidden, moved. Some survived in monasteries, some were copied into Arabic later. The loss was catastrophic, but not absolute. So why frame this as a decision made under pressure? Because each person involved, Theodosius, the bishops, the administrators who cut the budget, faced a real constraint. Theodosius was consolidating a fractured empire. He believed pagan knowledge threatened Christian unity. From his vantage point, with what he knew, it looked rational. That's the trap. The library didn't fail because of one villain. It failed because the system that preserved it required constant, expensive maintenance. When priorities shifted, nobody thought they were destroying knowledge. They thought they were making reasonable cuts. Reasonable cuts, repeated enough times, compound into oblivion. This teaches you something urgent about your own knowledge systems. Your email inbox, your digital files, your notes, your skills, they all require maintenance. They all cost something: time, attention, money. And when you're overwhelmed, the first thing you cut is the infrastructure nobody sees failing until it's gone. The Stoics understood this. Seneca wrote about the importance of preserving what matters, not through grand gestures, but through daily practice, regular review, deliberate choice about what you keep and why, because knowledge, like papyrus, rots if you ignore it. Alexandria lost most of its collection not in a single fire, but in 1,000 small neglects. A budget cut here, a copied text that was never backed up there, a decision to prioritize something else just this once. Each choice made sense in isolation. Together, they erased an archive of human thought. Now ask yourself, what are you cutting from your life right now? What knowledge about yourself, your craft, your history are you letting rot because it doesn't feel urgent? The cost isn't visible today. It compounds silently, and by the time you notice, the archive is already half gone. The Stoic response isn't perfectionism. You can't preserve everything, but you can make intentional decisions about what matters and then defend it, not through panic, through systems, through small daily choices that compound in your favor instead of against you. Alexandria teaches us that knowledge is fragile not because fire exists, but because maintenance is boring, because the people who fund preservation eventually die or lose interest, because systems require discipline, and discipline requires deciding again and again that something is worth the cost. That's the real decision under pressure, not whether to destroy knowledge, but whether to pay the price of keeping it. Theodosius chose not to pay. The administrators before him chose not to pay. And slowly, irreplaceably, what humanity had learned began to disappear. You're making that decision too, right now. With your attention, your time, your energy, you're choosing what to preserve and what to let rot. The question isn't whether you'll face scarcity, you will. The question is whether you'll be intentional about what you sacrifice or whether you'll let it happen by accident. The Library of Alexandria's vanishing scrolls teach us this. Knowledge dies not through malice, but through the compound effect of small neglects. Your task is simpler than Ptolemy's. You don't need to build an archive for civilization. You just need to decide what matters to you and then defend it with the discipline that most people won't bother with. That's not weakness, that's strategy, and strategy is the only thing that survives when everything else burns. Subscribe for weekly strategies on how ancient decisions shape the choices you're making today.